In 2008, a little show came out from the UK by the name of The Inbetweeners, which premiered on E4 on May 1, 2008, even getting 2 movies. The infamous American adaptation That Is So Bad, I Can't Bother Watching It, also getting a revival that was announced in 2025. The show is about the awkward situations the gang would get into, like getting drunk, attempting to find love with a girl which would later won't end well, and more shenanigans they would get into. In 2006, there was a pilot episode of The Inbetweeners by the name of Baggy Trousers that was completely different, having a completely different cast with another character that was part of the gang by the name of Lee, who was supposed to have a similar role as Jake Cartwright. There was one character who made it to the one we know today, which being James Buckley, who played Neo before taking the role the one we know today, Jake Cartwright. The episode had a similar premise as Season 1 Episode 2, where they would skip school and hang out, which would make of them drunk, then causing trouble at Simon's crush's house, Harley. Not much is known about this pilot, with only having some clips seen from a special episode of The Inbetweeners where they finally reunite and celebrate their 10 years ever since the first episode, and having a pretty different intro where they actually feature Carly in the intro. On the morning of July 13 in 2007, WJLA-TV, a ABC affiliate in the Washington, D.C. area, was airing their edition of Good Morning America, Good Morning Washington, until its digital signal was then taken over by a single frame of a black-haired couple, with one of them having a strand of hair on their mouth and the man having sunglasses, for 2 hours, lasting from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., until it cutted back to normal airings of Good Morning Washington. DCR-TV, a website blog that focuses around news and other content, then claimed that the whole thing was just a malfunction the whole time, with their Harris Flexicoder with a single frame image originating from a promotion for the Oprah Winfrey Show to freeze on screen for 2 hours. Not a TV hijacking as people thought it was. People had feedback with the glitch, claiming that they were startled when it came up on the screen, and some of the colleagues at the station had witnessed the intrusion. The only thing we have of this is a screenshot of the intrusion that occurred in 6:50 a.m. in the morning that was found by Reddit user The Soldier, and as of 2026, the originality of what the photo came from, their identities are still unknown. Some speculating it came from a corn film, and footage of the intrusion is still lost to this day. Babylon Norrbollen in Swedish is a Swedish film pilot that was created by Peru Morris and Henrik Wahlgren. The film is about a young bee named Bix Mellifera, and it lives in a hive called Babylon under the roof tiles of a house that contains a whole family there. In the plot, Bix works for a television group in a TV tower at the city, and where the bee creates this show about humans. The show about humans turns out to be a huge success, and it would change society and Babylon itself as the bees start to imitate the humans' behavior, and Queen Adabar has a evil alderman bee who is named Cyrus, where Cyrus has to do everything to stop Bix's program immediately. The film was actually pitched to DreamWorks Animation back in 2001, but was rejected because they thought the whole thing was just childish itself, and actually got into some controversy with DreamWorks because they accused DreamWorks for copying their plot, and that one that was copied would later turn into 2007's Bee Movie. In May 2007, there were 2 trailers of the movie that was uploaded in different qualities, and 16 years in 2023, a new trailer was uploaded and new clips of the movie were found. On January 17 of 2024, Bjorn Ring, who helped work on the film, uploaded more stuff related to Babylon on his YouTube channel, even featuring a new song that's completely high quality and behind the scenes of the clip. Currently we only have clips, trailers and the behind the scenes of how it was made, and honestly the animation looks uncanny looking, but it makes sense why, since it was created in the early 2000s when animation was completely new, and I'd love to see this film be found. Diego and Glot is a Chilean animated series that premiered on Canal 13 and funded by CNTV on September 3, 2005, that focuses the experiences of the Pla family, mostly focusing on Diego Pla, the youngest one in the family, and Glot, the pet dog in the family. The show turned out to be successful when it premiered, and as it was successful, the creators had been motivated for making a film, and this was at the time other series and franchises started to get movies like Polentos and Papelucho. The movie was said to be about a millionaire by the name of Mr. Smart, where he wants to own the neighborhood and where the people including his family and friends show the values of the origins and roots with stories of each one and show what they represent. There were also songs for the movie that finished already, even having Chilean band Basilos, and had talked with band Kudai and the film would be released, but it would have problems, like when it was delayed in 2007. Including the second season that would later be released in 2009 because of the disputes. Canal 13 and CNTV had, since the creator of the show wanted to release the second season, but when season 2 just released, its second season received some feedback since it changed its traditional animation that it had in season 1 to computerized animation and not being memorable. By the time they wanted to release the film itself, they thought of extending the concept, and by the time, most Chilean TV channels didn't want to be associated with the production companies, so the channels had their own hands to make their own shows by themselves. By the time they wanted to release the film, their hopes were low and decided to cancel the film by all means. Most of the stuff related to the movie was lost, like the soundtrack and the content itself. In 2022, however, a Chilean animation festival occurred, and a conference happened at the festival where the creators of the show based off of the show, where they would show content of the show and the planned movie's materials like images and stuff. On the 21st of November in 2015 in the Philippines, it was announced that Rodrigo Duterte would start his 2016 presidential campaign, which would later elect him as the 16th president in the Philippines. His campaign was highlighted on an anti-establishment tone, where he accused the political elites of the Philippines that was based in Manila for not solving its problems in the Philippines itself. In May of 2016, rival Senator Antonio Trillanes created the sad that was criticizing Rodrigo commercial that aired on ABS-CBN and GMA supposedly, but GMA denied ever airing that ad, and TV5 refused to air the ad itself.
Ganito ba ang gusto nyo?
Kayo ang patayin ko. Patayin ko kayo lahat.
Mali po ang pumatay.
Ano ka, umuwi ka na?
Tama po ba murahin ang Santo Papa?
Hoy, ang NPA!
Ituro niyo po sa amin ang tama.
Napakaganda. Dapat ang mayor muna ang mauna.
Mali po mambastos ng babae.
Bakit ikaw president ito bigla?
Ito po ba ang gusto niyo maging halimbawa para sa amin?
In the ad, there are kids criticizing him in different ways, showing the different clips to Duterte acting off and telling the viewer to not support Rodrigo Duterte. There were two different versions of this, the commercial that was shown on Filipino television, and there's the one that played on radio that is considered lost media. We don't know if there is a radio version of the ad, since there's no known recording of the radio version itself. The Middle is an American sitcom that released on ABC on September 30, 2009. The show is about the lives of a Hex, a dysfunctional low-middle-class family of 5 from the town of Orson, Indiana, and honestly, is one of my favorite shows. When the show ended on the 22nd of May, 2018, with the show wrapping up with Axel Heck, the older brother, getting a job in Colorado and living the Hex for a new life in Colorado, there was going to be a spin-off show based off of Sue Heck, the middle child of the family, where she would depart from her parents' house and move to Chicago, Illinois to start her hotel business with her best friend, Brad Bott. Again, she got this email from an assistant manager, and as she got the job after an interview, she decided to break up with Sean Donahue, Sue's love. The pilot episode existed, and at the same time, one of the actors, that being Brock Kierlelli, indeed ensure posting promotional images for the show like the images filmed at the exact place. Unfortunately, ABC, the show that aired the show, refused to air because ABC decided to give the more spotlight to the other shows that were airing at the time. As of 2026, we only have promotional images of the show and some screenshots of the pilot. Fast and the Furious is a movie franchise that revolves around street racing, heists, and spies, with its first movie releasing on June 22, 2001. When it comes to the movie and video games, their games aren't received well by critics, with its first game releasing on PlayStation Portable and PlayStation 2. In 2003, game developing studio Genki was going to be releasing a new Fast and Furious game for the PS2 and the original Xbox in November. Not much is known about the game, but we do know that its concept was going to be similar to games Tokyo Extreme Racer and Midnight Club 2 and be based on the first and second movie. The game was said to have a variety of licensed cars and customization options when the player would progress through the game. Not much is known about the game, and we do not know why the game was entirely cancelled. Most people think that the reason the game got cancelled because the developers felt dissatisfied with the finishing of the game. Tally Hall is an American rock band that consists of 5 members: Joe Hawley, Rob Cantor, Zubin Sedgey, Ross Fetterman, and Andrew Horowitz, being formed in 2002 in Ann Arbor, Michigan. They are well known for their songs like Banana Man, Hidden in the Sand, Good Day, and Ruler of Everything. One of the songs they've made is And, yes, that's the song's name itself, and in my opinion, based off of hearing it, it's indecent here, to be honest. The song was released on June 21st of 2011 as part of their second studio album, Good and Evil, and to promote the album, they had planned 2 music videos. The first one being Turn the Lights Off, which was released on their official YouTube channel on October 18, 2011, and there was And, that was cancelled during production because of the financial issues they went through, which could be because of the band, Tally Hall, having to part ways with Atlantic Records between the releases of the 2 albums itself, as they wanted to create the album independently. The music video was said to be directed by Steve Loader, who also helped direct the Hidden in the Sand music video and was filmed by another unofficial member of Tally Hall, Bora Karaja, and a rough cut of the music video that was edited by Karaja himself. The rough cut of the music video has never been officially released, nor it would be released, since after the release of Good and Evil and their tour, the band went completely inactive since most of the members decided to become independent artists themselves. But in a Reddit Q&A on r/Tally Hall, Rob Cantor did claim that he does have a copy of the music video, but it is unknown that the music video would ever go public. In 2002, as part of the 74th Academy Awards Oscars, the Academy Awards would introduce a new category, that being the Best Animated Feature, where animated movies are nominated from the previous year and is to see what animated movie wins the entire category. And in that year, in 2002, Shrek won Best Animated Feature, and as part of it, the animated characters from the nominated movies would appear at the Oscars, including Jimmy Neutron and Goddard, Sully and Mike Wazowski, and Shrek and Donkey, the winners of Best Animated Feature. In 2007, they returned doing it with their nominated movies like Happy Feet, Cars, and Monster House, with Happy Feet winning Best Animated Feature. As part of the both years, there were different reactions from the characters whether or not they won or not, and the one that wins it would show the reaction of them happy as they win it, and the ones that lose it would be shown disappointed as they lose the category, and the ones that lost also had a reaction where they win the category for Best Animated Feature, and the ones that won the category would have a reaction where they lost the category. However, only 2 of the ones that won the category would have a reaction where they lost the category, and the ones that lost also had a reaction where they win the category for Best Animated Feature are found to this day, which being Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius from 2001, winning thanks to Ray Chase, who uploaded it and was the animator of the reaction, and Cars from 2006 thanks to Being Seen and Randy Newman and James Taylor performing Our Town right in the very end. 4 of the animations are currently lost, which is Monsters Incorporated winning, Happy Feet losing, Shrek losing, and Monster House winning the Oscars.